Good morning and welcome to Mission Control Houston and Space Station Live. In space, the 3 members of the Expedition 36 crew are more than halfway through their day, having started at 1 a.m. Central Time and almost ready to wrap up a busy week on board the space station. They have just a few days left with the space station to themselves now. 3 new crewmates, Karen Nyberg, Fyodor Yurchikhin, and Luca Parmitano, will launch from the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan to join them on Tuesday. The 3 current crew members have had a full week of maintenance and science activities. On Monday, Cassidy spent a good portion of his time working on the Combustion Integrated Rack, an experiment facility intended for use with combustion-related investigations. He did some routine maintenance, replacing its fuel reservoir and igniter tips, and some less routine maintenance. For the first time since the facility launched into space, Cassidy replaced the seals that will keep the vacuum inside the hardware intact, as well as protect the crew from any escape of the experiment inside. Once he had completed that work, scientists here on the ground immediately got back to their experiments, performing runs of FLEX, the Flame Extinguishment Experiment, which assesses the effectiveness of fire suppressants in microgravity. Over the course of the week, Cassidy also spent time with the Vein Gap Experiment, part of the Capillary Flow Investigation, which investigates how fluids move up surfaces in microgravity. The vein gap part looks particularly at critical wetting conditions for interfaces between interior corners separated by a gap, which has applications in the storage, transport, and processing of liquids in space. Cassidy wrapped up that experiment on Wednesday when scientists were able to finish a map of their measurements with Cassidy's help. In fact, the scientist named his method of trapping the fluid in the gaps after him. Then on Thursday, Cassidy took out the Spheres, or Synchronized Position, Hold, Engage, and Reorient Experiment satellites in the Kibo laboratory as part of a demonstration for the Zero Robotics competition. As part of the competition, students write algorithms for the Spheres satellites to accomplish tasks relevant to future space missions. The algorithms are then tested by the Spheres team, and the best designs are selected for the competition to operate the Spheres satellite on board the ISS. And today, Cassidy is finishing up an experiment he started last week, the Seedling Growth Experiment. Last Thursday, he planted Thale cress seeds as part of the experiment, which then examined their germination and growth under varying amounts of simulated gravity and in different colors of light. Today, Cassidy harvested those seedlings and quickly inserted them into one of the station's freezers to preserve the results for scientists on the ground to study when they're returned on a later cargo ship. Meanwhile, on the Russian side of the station, one of the main activities for the week has been setting up a new treadmill delivered on the most recent Progress cargo vehicle inside the Rosvet Mini Research Module. Commander Pavel Vinogradov and Flight Engineer Alexander Masurkin removed and disassembled the older treadmill earlier this week and then set to work installing the new one. Today, Vinogradov is putting in a low noise fan that's part of that assembly inside the Rosvet Mini Research Module. That's what's going on in space this week, and this is Mission Control Houston.